Live from Arkansas' streaming news leader, this is THV 11 Morning News at 7 on THV 11 Plus.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to THV 11 Plus. It is 7 o'clock on your Wednesday morning. Ashley and Tracy are here. Karen is on assignment this morning, and we're having a ball. We're chatting it up. We're talking about traffic. We're talking about weather. We're talking about parenting. We're talking about everything in between, and it's always fun just to collab in the morning and hang out, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, to let Hayden know there will be peace again.
We're talking about it, y'all. I'll be honest with you.
A young one.
I'm telling you, we're potty training. We got a 2.5-year-old. We're trying to get up. We're trying to get going, and he's running the house. We'll just say that. He's running the house.
I remember potty training and thinking this is never going to end.
Yeah, ever.
This will never end.
We're about a month in.
What are we going to do?
Just a month in?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I thought it was going to be like, he'll like a couple weekends, we'll be good to go. Oh, no.
Right. It takes a while. And then you think, we're there. They're doing good. And then all of a sudden there's a setback and you're like, what happened?
Yeah, the regression. You're like,
We're trying.
So good luck with that.
We're trying. Well, so he's got to be at daycare in about half an hour. I don't know how traffic's looking right now. Hopefully it's all right. Not too bad.
As long as he doesn't have to go to like Pine Bluff or anything. I don't think you guys would drive.
If you could just zoom in on show me Cantrell and Cantrell, we're good to go.
Well, that looks fine this morning. Of course, we have our normal slowdown there on 30 eastbound, but really 530 has been a mess all morning. Tracy was talking about an accident on 530 before I even got here this morning. And then now there's a vehicle fire, and that was followed up by another accident just right up the road from where Tracy was talking about an accident. As you can see, this vehicle fire, and it's happening 530 northbound, exit 9 Bingham Road, moving at just 7 miles per hour in this area on 530 northbound. So expect some delays, and I'll show you what that looks like. You can see it's a little bit blurry, but as the sun is coming up, you can definitely tell there is a lot of law enforcement vehicles on the road, and we also have a backup that's happening. You can tell those cars are at a standstill there. If you're coming in from Conway, Benton, Cabot, things are looking just fine. You shouldn't expect any delays on your drive-in just yet. The volume isn't making the travel time increase a little bit, but Tracy, otherwise, things are looking okay.
Alrighty, weather-wise, we are looking at a very similar situation to what we've seen the past couple of days, starting out with a beautiful sunrise, clear skies out there, a little cool. You might need a light jacket, especially for the kiddos as they are heading out to the bus stop. Sunrise not too far off, around 7:14, and sunset around 6:32. We are looking at our temperatures right around the lower 60s, 61 in that dew point, again, mid-50s. Feels good out there. Calm winds for the most part, but we'll start to see those winds pick up just a little bit this afternoon, gusting upwards of 15 miles per hour. 50s and 60s across the state, and this will be the case as we're heading into tomorrow as well. Friday morning could be a little bit warmer, not much, but we are looking for those temperatures to bump up just a little bit. But that 3-day forecast, as I mentioned, 85, 55, 59, 59. You see the correlation here, very similar. But then we're finally going to get that big high pressure ridge out of here for a little while, and we're going to start to see some weather changing on Saturday and could see some strong to severe storms. So we're going to talk more about that coming up in just a few minutes, and we'll time everything out for you.
Tracy, thank you. The government shutdown now in its third week, and families across the country are starting to feel the squeeze. Federal workers are living on partial paychecks, and food assistance programs are now running low. House Speaker Mike Johnson warning this could be the longest shutdown in history, with Republicans and Democrats still deadlocked. The Senate failing again to pass a short-term funding plan, falling about 11 votes short after Democrats push for extensions on the Affordable Care Act subsidies. Now, without them, insurance premiums could spike for millions. The White House says it is preparing to, quote, ride out the Democrats, keeping troops and law enforcement paid while issuing more reduction in force notices. Democrats call those layoffs illegal.
Firing and threatening to fire federal employees is part of the Trump administration's campaign to inflict trauma on our federal workforce.
Air traffic controllers are calling on lawmakers to reach a deal after receiving only part of their paychecks. Now they won't see another check until the shutdown ends. Also, worries are mounting here at home on whether money will be available for people who depend on federally supported programs like SNAP. Lauren Spencer shows us how concerns are worsening in light of a legislative meeting this week.
Everyone who's eligible for October benefits will receive those benefits. November is questionable depending on how long the shutdown goes.
Questionable. That's how the Arkansas Department of Human Services describes the outlook for SNAP benefits come November. Right now, more than 222,000 Arkansans rely on the program.
So SNAP becomes a really critical program to ensure that children and families, including seniors, veterans, people with disabilities, have access to critical food assistance to make sure that they're getting nutritious food for all of their meals.
Kristen Harper, Policy Director for Arkansas Advocates for Children and Families, says losing SNAP, even for a short time, would be a big deal for a state already struggling with hunger.
Arkansas is actually the most food insecure state in the nation. We have a food insecurity rate at 18.9% compared to 13.5% nationally.
DHS says if funding runs out, they'll encourage people to turn to local food pantries and programs, but advocates warn those resources could quickly be stretched thin.
Going to see food banks potentially become overwhelmed with requests that they can't necessarily meet.
Harper says she's urging Arkansans to reach out to lawmakers to end the shutdown and protect programs that help families afford food and health care.
Many of the families who access SNAP, they have children in those families. Our SNAP program, they have very strict working requirements and things like that. So most people who are accessing SNAP are working.
DHS says between October of last year and August of this year, more than 156,000 applications for SNAP benefits received approval. Well, food security is especially challenging for communities in Arkansas's rural areas, but one company in Sheridan believes they found a way to grow more food with less land and help small farmers stay in business. THV 11's Tamer Knight joins us now in studio with a look at how vertical farming could actually help elevate farming here in the state.
Well, good morning, Karen and Hayden. Sorry, Karen went home, but good morning, Hayden. A company called 180 Pipe is taking vertical farming to a whole new level, and although it's not a brand new concept, leaders in Southeast Arkansas say vertical farming could solve several local challenges, including farming struggles to food insecurity. And Sheridan, Arkansas, tucked into a warehouse, 180 Pipe is rethinking how food gets to our tables. Their vertical farming system grows crops in stacked rows using recycled water and specialized lighting that cuts electricity costs. However, Eudora Mayor Tamika Butler traveled 2 hours to Sheridan to see how the technology for herself. She believes it could bring opportunities to towns like hers, where agriculture is already the backbone of the economy.
With this particular technology, you can take 1 acre of land, of 1 acre of traditional row crop farming, and put it in your living room. We need the communities to come together, first of all, to see what it is that we have and see firsthand that this is a proven system that will work and can work, and it does work.
180 Pipe system doesn't rely on sunlight or soil. Instead, it uses light diffusion and reflective paint to feed the plants, making it possible to farm almost anywhere. The company believes they're just getting started and hoping to partner with cities across Arkansas to bring vertical farming to even more communities. Now, we reached out to the Arkansas Farm Bureau to see if they have thoughts on vertical farming, and we were sent to the USDA's website, which says the practice can get expensive due to the need for artificial light and temperature control, but also gives some positives like the fact that farmers can grow year-round regardless of the weather. For THV 11 News, I'm Tamer Knight.
All right, Tamer, thank you so much. The longtime work zones along I-30 in Saline County and I-57 northeast of Little Rock have served as testing grounds for Arkansas's speed enforcement cameras. With more cameras now deployed across the state, neighboring states showing some interest in the technology as well. RDOT confirms there are now 5 active speed cameras in operation. A law passed back in 2023 allows their use, but only in construction zones, and requires live officers to monitor them and catch violators after they leave the work area. One of those camera sites is now operating in northwest Arkansas, and officials in Oklahoma say they're impressed with RDOT's approach.
Working towards 0 deaths, 0 crashes. The reality is those things are going to happen. But technology like this is going to help us to keep pushing those numbers downward.
RDOT says Arkansas is leading the nation in manned speed camera technology. Tennessee is the only nearby state using unmanned cameras that can automatically ticket speeders. Speaking of technology on our roads, Arkansas, one of only 3 states to pass new laws this year over how police use automatic license plate readers. Arkansas Advocate reporting the law signed by Governor Sanders back in April sets new rules for how long agencies can store plate data, up to 150 days. Also allows private property owners to use cameras if they delete data within 60 days. Lawmakers say the change helps balance privacy concerns with public safety as more states consider similar measures. Supporters say it gives an added advantage to law enforcement in solving crimes, but critics argue it could put drivers' privacy at risk if the data is not properly protected. Well, right now, RDOT has several ramps shut down as crews test new wrong-way detection systems, part of a statewide effort to use new technology that can warn drivers who accidentally enter a highway in the wrong direction. The installation work began earlier this year, and testing continues tonight through tomorrow morning. Drivers can expect temporary ramp closures on Interstates 40, 57, 430, and 630. It's going to be from 10 p.m. until 6 a.m. Only one ramp will close at a time, and emergency vehicles will still be allowed through. Well, speaking of all this road talk, traffic, how are we looking this morning at 7-Eleven? Ashley?
Yeah, we're still looking at a vehicle fire and an accident that they're working on 530 northbound, although it looks like it's starting to clear up a little bit from our live traffic cam. It's still a little bit slow in that area, though, so let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. This is 530 northbound around mile marker 9, and you can get a closer look and see exactly it's still very, very slow, moving at 6 miles per hour there on 530. It was blocking the right-hand shoulder, so people just moving very slow with this vehicle fire, of course, trying to get around it. Bingham Road is where that is. This is what it looks like. So we can see law enforcement still on the scene, but the cars are starting to move a little bit better, but it just takes time for that to recover. If you're coming in from Conway, things are still looking good, just 25 minutes into downtown Little Rock, but starting to look a little bit slow coming in from Benton, and Cabot still looking good. We'll look at those slowdowns coming up in just a few minutes. Tracy?
All right. Well, weather-wise, things are much more calm here, but we do have some more eventful weather coming as we're heading into the weekend. We have issued a weather impact advisory. Confidence increasing for these storms coming in on Saturday. The timing and severity will become a bit clearer in the coming days. I'd say in the next 24 to 36 hours, but it certainly will impact outdoor events and activities. We've got the fair, we've got the Razorback game, and of course, it's the weekend. People are going to be outside. So taking a look here, you'll notice that this is blue and not red. So this is an advisory, not a weather impact alert. This just means that we are watching the system as it's continuing, and I think might be an issue as we're heading into the weekend. So just making sure that you are aware that we could need a plan B here, and scattered storms that could be strong to severe, staying informed, having a plan. It's been a while since we've had some of this severe weather. So download that THV 11 app, and we'll be streaming again before, during, and after this event if we do have some storms rolling through. And of course, you can also download our phone app and get watches and warnings. Here's what the Storm Prediction Center has for us. Again, that level 2 out of 5, and we could see all modes of severe weather.